InvestorIdeas.com podcasts.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of InvestorIdeas.com podcasts. In today's podcast, we're going to be looking at a few public and private company announcements from IntelligenX Corporation, trading on the TSXV Venture as IGX, and the OTCQB as IGXT, Icanic Farms Incorporated, BevCanna Enterprises Incorporated, trading on the CSE as BEV and the OTC as BVNNF, as well as WRHLF, trading on the OTCQB as WRHLF. So, starting with IntelligenX Corporation, who today announced that it and Tilray Incorporated have amended the exclusivity terms of their November 2018 license, development, and supply agreement to allow for IntelligenX co-development and commercialization of CBD products with additional partners. So in consideration, IntelligenX shall pay a royalty to Tilray on all CBD products sold pursuant to this amendment, and on other terms of the agreement, including those pertaining to Tilray's exclusive worldwide marketing and distribution rights for the non-CBD cannabis-infused VersaFilm, remain unchanged. Since obtaining our cannabis microprocessing license from Health Canada a few weeks ago, we've received numerous expressions of interest from cannabis industry players in our drug delivery platforms and manufacturing capabilities, as we continue to have the only Health Canada licensed and GMP compliant facility for pharmaceutical film manufacturing, commented Dr. Horst G. Zerb, CEO of IntelligenX. While we continue to work with Tilray to align on the timing of the potential commercial launch of the first co-developed cannabis-infused VersaFilm product, we are now actively seeking other potential partners to commercialize CBD-containing film products targeting the health and wellness market in Canada. So obviously I've talked a lot about the different companies that are focusing on more the sublingual film products out there. IntelligenX being one of those main providers, and has really just been sort of stuck with Tilray up until this point. So this will be a huge development plan for them, and that now they can work with other companies on developing these products and bring others to market. Great deal for Tilray as well, in that they are going to get royalties from any of those future agreements. I still do debate if there's going to be this big jump towards the sublingual films, but in the European market, it seems to be picking up more momentum. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the huge sort of product format that everyone decides in North America. But again, in other markets, it is starting to pick up more steam. More companies are starting to have interest in that. And especially as the UK and Germany and a few of those other EU countries start to really expand their medical cannabis and CBD programs, you're probably going to see more different product types start to come out into the market. It may not necessarily be made for the North American market, but again, you might see that have a little bit more traction within the EU. Next, looking at Icanic Farms Incorporated, who announced that Potcasts SAS, a wholly owned Colombian subsidiary of the company, has signed a collaborative agreement with CAS Biotechnology for cannabis research on the potential medical benefits in the treatment of COVID-19, with pharmaceutical-grade cannabis oil provided by the company's GACP and GMP pharma-certified Casa Flores facility located outside of Bogota, Colombia. Now, the company's cannabis is supported by agronomically certified genetics and is currently sold in Colombia for use in Formula Magistral. We're excited to partner with CAS Biotechnology on the first export of pharmaceutical-grade cannabis to Mexico in hopes to aid the treatment of COVID-19, said Boris Sanz de Madrid, president of Icanic International. Now, the testing will be conducted by CAS Biotechnology's scientific team at their research facility in Mexico, and CAS Biotechnology's team is comprised of scientists with expertise in molecular and synthetic biology, bioinformatics, genomics, proteomics, and preclinical trials. Now, Podeca will provide these samples to CAS Biotechnology for conducting scientific research and preclinical trials to determine the effect of cannabis oil on SARS-CoV-2's replication cycle. We're very proud to participate in a study that brings medicine and cannabis closer together in a joint effort to discover possible phytotherapeutic treatments as a new course of action for the treatment of COVID-19, said Brian Baca, the CEO of Icanic Farms. So a couple of things with that. Obviously, not only is it great that they're going to be doing research on this, there's a few different areas within the cannabis industry right now that are focusing on some sort of treatment, at least of the symptoms of COVID-19. Or at least of some sort of effective therapy in treating the overall healing process, or alleviating something there. There hasn't been, again, a ton of overall success right now, but again, there also isn't tons of time and tons of research that's been put into this yet. So potentially for next year, there could be some products out in the market. That would be a great moment for the cannabis industry to have a hand in aiding with COVID-19. Would be really a way to worldwide legitimize this industry in a much bigger way. I'm really rooting for that in a lot of ways, but I do think that it's going to be more of a mild effect. And I think that as well, you're going to find inconsistencies just because of everyone's unique endocannabinoid system, but staying hopeful. And on the other side of that as well, it's also interesting to note that this is one of the first exports of medical grade cannabis into Mexico coming out of, or pharmaceutical grade cannabis coming into Mexico from Colombia. Again, Mexico as a cannabis market is going to be starting to develop over the next 2 years. There's lots of companies eager to get in there, mostly just focusing on research and development right now. But eventually they will have that medical cannabis program and possibly leading into a recreational market. Obviously, there's tons of factors involved with that. Their government and their situation with the local cartels is going to be a huge issue that will probably persist for a long time. But there is a lot of potential benefit with that market opening up. And really does show as well that some of these, again, Colombian companies and a lot of these growers coming out of Colombia are really going to be producing some very high quality, world class product. And again, are more and more starting to get realized and noticed this year. And you're starting to see a lot of that Colombian product move all over the world, into the EU, into North America, and really everywhere else. And I'm very hopeful that that is going to be what we see and continue to see for the Colombian cannabis industry as a country that's been so impacted by the war on drugs in the past. It would be a beautiful moment for them to have this really impact their economy and culture in a very net positive way and bring about a lot of maybe change the worldwide perception of what Colombia can be. Next, looking at BevCanna Enterprises Incorporated, who announced today that it's entered into a non-binding letter of intent to manufacture white label CBD and THC infused beverages for Rising British Columbian Beverages branded State B Beverage Co. Launched by well-known BC mixologist and master drink maker Kellyanne Woods, State B is part of the WRHLF Incorporated house of brands, which currently includes Booze Witch, Sober Curious Mixers, and 3 additional functional human performance drinks in development. Now, under the proposed agreement, BevCanna will leverage its extensive experience developing and launching beverages in the Canadian market to create the new State B beverage concept, which will be a merge of functional beverages and cannabis drinks. Now, BevCanna will also maintain responsibility for regulatory compliance with Health Canada, and State B will hold responsibility for national sales and marketing efforts to launch the product line in Canada. And the white label agreement will be for an internal term of 3 years with a subsequent 3-year renewal option. Now, the State B brand is an intriguing new concept, and we're excited to be the ones to launch the new line, said John Campbell, the Chief Strategic Officer at BevCanna. Our plan to create a sustainable, consistent revenue stream through a white label portfolio is well on track, and adding the State B will add to the momentum. BevCanna's experience in formulation functional yet very appealing beverages was exactly what we were looking for in a white label partner, said Kellyanne Woods, the CEO of Brujeria. Their success in bringing great concepts to life while maintaining strict regulatory compliance convinced us that they were the right partner to work with on their new brand. So BevCanna really is starting to become much like Valens Growworks is the main extract white label provider for many of the Canadian companies. BevCanna does seem to become the white label beverage producer for most of these Canadian companies. And I think that that's a smart play for everyone involved within the industry here, is to have a few experts like BevCanna and others who are really well versed in how to create these water soluble cannabinoids, how to make a functional beverage, how to stick with all the regulatory compliance issues, which are very, very high and strict for the beverage side of the Canadian industry. And then work with other companies to create unique recipes and flavor profiles and different branding opportunities. I think that that is probably what we're going to see end up for a lot of the cannabis beverages. Again, similar to what we've seen with the oils and extracts and some of the other Cannabis 2.0 products. There are some of these companies like a Valens or a BevCanna that become experts within this field and just utilize that in a white label capacity, sort of for the betterment of the entire industry. I do think that that's the overall way this industry should look at the end of the day, as opposed to all the vertical integration we've seen in the past, which has really been a struggle for a lot of these companies to get products to market. That's been the big issue we've seen with a lot of the beverages and a lot of the 2.0 products, is a lot of the companies who are sort of going it in their own capacity are having really difficult times meeting up with compliance issues, being able to market and get their products out in time, also being able to deal with all the other products they have to maintain and monitor. So I think that this is, like I said, probably where we're going to see that beverage side of the industry level out. There's obviously competition to BevCanna, but there will be probably only a few companies like them who then provide all of the beverage assets to other companies for them to market and sell. And lastly today, looking at World High Life, who announced having seen considerable sales numbers lead to 2 substantial quarters of growth from its wholly owned subsidiary Love Hemp. Now, Tony Calamita, the chief executive officer of Love Hemp, a London-based CBD company spearheading the development of the UK's leading range of trusted CBD products, has the company hitting on all cylinders as it heads into the second half of the year. Now, although the global COVID-19 crisis has had many businesses treading water and searching for answers, Love Hemp hasn't missed a beat while meeting these trying times head on, and the company has thrived by giving consumers exactly what they want: plenty of online options and continued product development. So far, Love Hemp has over 80 products, including oils, sprays, edibles, cosmetics, and vapes, and the company currently enjoys around 1,200 retail listings, but World High Life subsidiary has no plans on stopping there. Love Hemp prides itself on understanding market demand and developing new products and brands that satisfy what consumers want most. And Calamita says that the new product development is at the heart of everything that the company does. We currently have 15 new products in development stage, and we remain committed to creating the UK's leading range of trusted CBD products. Now, given the exponential growth that the company's e-commerce business has seen and the sheer number of customers who are not only finding Love Hemp online but continuing to come back again and again, Love Hemp has redesigned its global online retailer www.cbdoilsuk.com, a premium CBD oil and cannabinoid supplier in the UK, to handle the overwhelming demand. And Calamita says that the launch of the Buzz Leaf products, there is now something for everyone on the website. As a result, we've achieved over 107% increase of online sales from January to May 2020. This was an incredibly strong period of sales for Love Hemp, and with our strong growth usually comes from a wider variety of sales channels. Given the challenging business circumstances, our shift to the expansion of our online products has enabled us to ensure our customers are able to continue to purchase and engage with us. We are focused on building trust and credibility with our consumer base and to continue to innovate while responding to the evolving consumer demands. Sales of the company's CBD oil, CBD sprays, and CBD soft gel capsules are leading the way, but the timely introduction of another product, Love Hemp Immune, well ahead of schedule, is already growing in popularity among customers. Now, Love Hemp Immune is advertised as a blend of CBD, essential vitamins, including vitamins C and D, and bilberry extract to maintain a healthy immune system by supporting our body's natural defenses. Calamita added, "We've also seen a great interest in the health and wellness as COVID-19 reinforced the importance of being healthy and maintaining a strong, balanced immune system." So, where does World High Life subsidiary go for the second half of the year? The announcement on the Buzz Leaf brand is certainly a good start and defines what's likely Love Hemp's plan to get those 15 products ahead. And again, as the CEO mentioned, as retail stores begin to reopen, we're focused on the holistic growth across all channels from retail to online. And we're in conversations with many major retailers in the UK who will look forward to continued growth among our customer base while maintaining brand loyalty among customers. So really, this just goes to sort of reiterate what I've said a lot during this COVID-19 crisis, that the CBD industry, especially because it is so heavily already dependent on online sales and online searching and online traffic, has been maintaining pretty steady growth and pretty steady sales, even in the UK. So World High Life has done a really great job, obviously seeing massive growth over these last 5 months. And we'll probably continue to see that throughout the rest of the year for a lot of the reasons they stated there. Again, the COVID-19 pandemic has really affected what people see as their overall health and what people are starting to now willing to do for their overall health regimen. People are going above and beyond simply vitamins and a little bit of exercise, and they are looking at other products that can not only boost their immune system but help maintain it over time. And CBD is the obvious product that everyone has on their mind right now. Whichever part of the world you're in, you've been hearing a lot of different anecdotal evidence of these products having huge effects on people's immune system and their overall health and wellness. A lot of people helping with inflammation and anxiety as well. And these are things that are common occurrences across the world and obviously plague a lot of different nations and populations. So I do think that you're going to continue to see a lot of intense sales, especially for online sales of CBD. And you're probably going to see a little bit more global expansion of the CBD industry within this next year as more and more parts of the world start to realize the benefits of this product and also start to realize the ease of access of the infrastructure of having an online sales infrastructure for CBD. That again could also lead other companies into the area as well. There could be a legit chance that Amazon does start to sell actual legitimate CBD products as opposed to the hemp seed oil products they've been selling most of the time so far. I do believe they have a couple on their shelf so far, but not a lot of high dose products or a lot of really effective products. And I do think that that's going to, again, you're going to see more and more of this throughout the year. That's all for today's podcast. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated's CM certification. InvestorIdeas.com podcasts are also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and TuneIn. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor of this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment. Investor Ideas does not condone the use of cannabis except where permissible by law. Our site does not possess, distribute, or sell cannabis products.